Despite North Korea being one of the most isolated countries in the world, its leader Kim Jong-un traveled abroad before coming to power. As a young boy, although nobody knows his exact age at any given time, he enrolled at a top private school in Bern, Switzerland, using a fake name. Despite a considerable amount of money spent on his education, he was most passionate about basketball and music, yodeling excluded. A Swiss tradition that did stick with him was eating a lot of cheese, which he still does to this day. This kind of makes sense when you consider his whole body physique clearly resembles an Emmentaler Gruyere fondue. Despite nearly finishing the 9th grade, his father moved him back to North Korea in preparation for the transfer of power. While doing so, Kim underwent plastic surgery to look less like a Swiss cheese fondue and more like his father. The most ridiculous claims within the Kim family undoubtedly belong to Kim Jong-il. Official records describe the former leader who learned to walk at the age of 3 weeks. While at Kim Il-sung University, he wrote 1,500 books in 3 years, and 6 operas over a long weekend as well. Apparently, he was a boss in sports too. When he picked up a golf club for the very first time, he shot 38 under, including 11 holes in one. Fortunately, North Korea's nuclear intercontinental missiles don't yield the same level of accuracy. If they did, we would all be toast. Oh, I forgot to mention that prior to all of this, with him being born divine and all, he did so under a double rainbow and a glimmering star on some famous North Korean hipster mountain. Other sources claim he was born in a Siberian village where famine was going bonkers. Maybe it's just me, but that last version sounds more credible somehow. You cannot deny a dictatorship needs serious protective measures. Therefore, in most cases, spontaneous executions are a given when it comes down to keeping it safe. Well, it's spontaneous for sure when you execute even your own family members. This is exactly what Kim Jong-un did to his uncle in 2013. Being called a traitor, a scumbag, and much worse things that will guarantee a death sentence in North Korea, Jang Song-taek was subsequently executed by firing squad. Kim's half-brother did not do any better, although he could easily become his literal half-brother. Instead, he was modestly poisoned by 2 women at Kuala Lumpur International Airport. The women were instructed that it would be a prank, which brings us to a very important lesson. If a group of North Korean men in dark tailored suits ask you to do a prank with an undisclosed substance because it's fun, then maybe don't do it. It probably does not come as a surprise that the Kim family has an insane amount of wealth. We can assume this financial growth is accomplished through fair international trade, as we can equally assume to accomplish sarcasm in our videos. While international sanctions are yet another plague to the North Koreans, no pun intended, Office 39 battles this threat as an autonomous financial network designed to bypass these sanctions and keep the elites in power. Money laundering, counterfeit money, weapons, and narcotics trafficking. And the import of luxury goods are all part of their game. For example, luxury cars like Mercedes are banned from being exported to North Korea, which is a bit of an embarrassment considering Kim Jong-un pops up everywhere with a platoon of ill-dressed joggers, all surrounding a luxurious and heavily armored, yep, you guessed it, Mercedes. Oh, and let's not forget they have an army of hackers too, because, well, why not? Kim Il-sung is the founder of North Korea. After his death, he was called the Eternal Leader, which doesn't make a lot of sense because leaders lead and leading is kind of hard to do being dead and all. Before being a dead leading leader, Kim grew up with his present family while the Japanese were fucking around in Manchuria and everywhere else. He became a member of a guerrilla movement to fight back the Japanese, which worked out fine because the Japanese lost. When he solidified his absolute power in the government after the war, Kim started the Korean War in 1950, but not before calling himself the Great Leader, without winning the Korean War, which is a bit lame. Instead of winning wars, he made sure to eliminate political rivals and kept busy hanging cool paintings of himself everywhere. Eternal leader, great leader, dear leader, so on and so forth. It is safe to say the Kim family is adored throughout North Korea, and if not, one is motivated by government officials to change their mind. Besides many statues, big paintings, national holidays to celebrate birthdays, much else is done to keep the family's reputation getting likes. For example, a North Korean citizen can go for a nice haircut, but can only choose between 28 different state-approved haircuts. Oddly enough, Kim Jong-un's haircut is not one of the options, even if you are a woman. Another law, like falling asleep during a speech, can easily make you wake up in a concentration camp. Good luck falling back to sleep after that happens. If you want to take a picture of a statue of one of the Kims, you'd better snap the whole statue top to bottom, or you might end up in jail top to bottom. Back in the day, most people, probably through the brutal and totalitarian rule of the Kims in North Korea, could not last as long as it did. There are a few reasons for this. First, the Kims are portraying themselves as gods since the get-go, and with great success. Despite many North Koreans living in very shitty conditions, most of them absolutely adore their leaders. If they only did a Google search to this video, that might change things a bit. That brings us to another reason for their hyped-up status, and that is the lack of information available to citizens. The TV only has 4 state-controlled channels, and only a handful of people have access to the internet. And that internet, that's called Kwangmyong, only has a dozen state-controlled websites. And no, Pornhub and Mitzi Studio is not among them. What also helps the Kims is that the population is used to a totalitarian rule more than, for example, Pornhub. People just don't know any better. One might assume hobbies and sports like hunting, playing shooter games, and martial arts would be a logical fit for a brutal dictator. However, Kim Jong-un is known to have more of an interest in basketball. Go figure. He reportedly idolized Michael Jordan, and even would have invited Dennis Rodman if he was not busy chilling with Steven Seagal. Oh, sorry, that's Putin's buddy. Easy to get those American stars and brutal regime leaders mixed up. He also likes Western films and music. He likes skiing, and he can really enjoy a day going to an amusement park. Maybe because of the rides they have there, like Nuclear Mountain, the Haunted Prisoner Camp, and taking a ride on the park's armored train. For sure, he will be enjoying some cotton candy as well. That cheeky, chubby dictator.